Good evening, Seneca Valley.
We sincerely thank you for tuning in to the last show of the first 9 weeks. We have a great number of stories, both local and national. Stay tuned until the end to see the recap of the Seneca Valley Raiders football season. I'm Monique Polis.
And I'm Carson Leslie. Baseball's Fall Classic is finally here. The World Series begins tonight between the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays and the National League champion Los Angeles Dodgers. This best-of-7 series will feature some of baseball's biggest names like Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The Dodgers punched their ticket last Friday off the back of a monstrous 3-homer game by Shohei Ohtani to complete the sweep of the Brewers. Toronto clinched their spot Monday night by besting the Mariners in an epic Game 7 battle. George Springer hit a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 7th, and Jeff Hoffman struck out the side in the 9th to end the game. The series will begin in Toronto tonight at 8 o'clock. The odds makers are favoring LA, but the Commissioner's Trophy is anyone's to win. And now we hear from Seneca Valley baseball player Brody Horn about this prediction for the World Series.
Okay, so I'm Jake Carner, and I'm here with Brody Horn. Who do you think is going to win the World Series, and why?
So my pick, I'm taking the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think they're going to go back-to-back. I just think their offense is too high-powered, and their pitching rotation is just too strong. I mean, Shohei Ohtani the other night went 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts while pitching. I just think he's just too electric. I think that batting order is just too stacked, and I just think they have what it takes to get it done.
You heard it here first.
In local news, on Thursday, October 2nd, Jackson Higginbotham, a 7th grader in Ryan Gloyer Middle School, was named Honorary Mayor of the Day by Cranberry Township Board member Mr. Mike Manipul, who is also Jackson's gym teacher. According to the township website, this is an opportunity meant to encourage youth involvement in the community. When asked about this opportunity, Jackson said, quote, "When Mr. Manipul asked me to be the mayor for the day, I was shocked and excited." Also, by note, technicality, Jackson is the first mayor in the history of Cranberry Township. When asked what he'd do if he had the power to be an actual mayor, Jackson said, quote, "I'd fix the traffic lights on Route 19 and Freedom Road," end quote. Safe to say, if Jackson was our mayor, we'd be in good hands.
Youth in Government's 2025-2026 season kicked off a few weeks ago on Monday, October 8th. This club offers students an opportunity to build up their public speaking, debate, and leadership skills by having them participate in a simulation of state government. This club features 3 main branches. Legislative, judicial, and press meetings are held on Mondays at 6:15 at the Rose E. Schneider YMCA. For more on this club, here's a closer look.
Youth in Government, or YAG, is a unique program designed to teach kids about the government and help them make connections across the state. Here are a few members of the leadership team to talk about their experiences.
I would describe YAG as a fun student-led club where you get to meet a lot of your friends and you get to follow your passion.
Youth in Government is a student-led mock government club where students get to express their creativity and also express their interest in government by joining one of the 3 branches. And in those branches, you can write legislation, debate it, practice your photography and creativity skills, or debate briefs.
You get to really build on your public speaking and your leadership skills, and I think that's the best part about YAG.
The purpose of joining Youth in Government, in my opinion, is that you get to meet a lot of cool people, not only just within the school, but on the whole statewide level. You also get to be exposed to leadership skills that not many other clubs at the school offer.
My favorite part would be meeting my friends. I've met friends from all over the state who I still keep in contact with, so I think that's one of the best parts about it.
My favorite part of YAG is being able to help others. I know it's kind of a cliche answer that a lot of people would say, but even whenever you have leadership positions, especially on the statewide level, being able to help others be better at public speaking or helping them refine their debating skills and being a key part to what made their weekend at our state capitol trip amazing really means a lot to me, and I love being able to help others become better speakers.
Thank you, Julia, for that report. RGMS is currently rehearsing the upcoming musical, Singing in the Rain, which is based on the film of the same name. The students have been working on the making of the musical Perfect for several weeks and have more to come until the performance. Ticket selling begins online and the performance is on November 6th, 8th, and 9th.
Hello, my name is Natalie. RGMS has been practicing a magnificent musical which is based off of the original musical Singin' in the Rain. The students have been working on making the musical perfect for several weeks already and have more to come to the performance. Tickets begin selling online and at the school. The performance is on November 6th, 8th, and 9th, held in the Intermediate High School Auditorium.
At the very beginning, especially if they've never seen or done the show, before, because we see from bare bones, them thinking what's their interpretation of the character, and then we try to pull different things out of them, and seeing the growth in not just the leads, but also the ensemble and the fun that they're having on stage is probably one of my favorite things about theater, is watching them continue to grow and get better at every rehearsal.
Well, when we first started, none of them had any idea what they were doing ever. People didn't know their lines, people didn't know how to interact with each other, and as we progressed, it's really starting to become a story, and they all know what they're doing, they're figuring out where they go on stage, how to interact with each other, and so it really should end up being what we wanted to by the end.
I think it's good because you get experience talking to all different kinds of people, because musical is just a place where everybody goes. You get to work with a ton of people, and you get to learn how to work with people.
Thank you for listening to my short preview on the RGMS musical Singin' in the Rain. Reminder that the performance will be held in the Intermediate High School Auditorium on November 6th, 8th, and 9th.
Thank you, Natalie. Reminder that the musical will be shown in 2 weeks in the Intermediate High School.
This previous Tuesday, October 21st, Seneca Valley's Chamber Orchestra had their first official concert of the year at the Strand Theater in Zelienople. Every year, it is tradition for the Chamber Orchestra to participate in a Halloween concert. This concert had a variety of lesser-known songs like Rosen Eating Zombies and Dance Macabre. It has also had classics like James Bond, Thriller, and this Halloween. Every member of the orchestra was also expected to come to the concert in costume. While this might be unconventional, it added a fun element that is not seen at many other local concerts. With over 13 different Halloween songs being played, there's a lot of dedication that goes into being a chamber orchestra member. Mrs. Miller, the head of the orchestra program and conductor of the concert, commented, quote, "Students in our chamber orchestra are some of the finest musicians in our school. Our annual Halloween concert is a wonderful way for them to showcase their musicianship to our community. I am always so impressed how tirelessly they work to put together this fun and festive concert so early in the school year. You can find out more about the upcoming concert dates online at Seneca Valley calendar. You can also follow the Seneca Valley Orchestra on Instagram. Since the SV concert season is beginning, let's check in with Morgan Clay for a closer look at Seneca Valley Madrigals.
My name is Morgan Clay with the Seneca Scout, and this is my package on Seneca Valley Madrigals. Seneca Valley Madrigals is an audition group made up of 37 singers. The choir is made up of 8 different voice parts, including soprano 1 and 2, alto 1 and 2, tenor 1 and 2, and finally bass 1 and 2. For the past 4 years, the choir has been directed by Mrs. Alexander. Every Monday, the choir meets from 6 to 8 p.m. in the SHS chorus room. Let's check in with Miss Alexander to hear her thoughts on how the choir is progressing this year.
The madrigals sing a lot, and so they learn a lot of music, and it is very difficult to memorize that amount of music. So many great memories with the madrigals. It's just wonderful to see the faces on the audiences when they hear them for the first time. I love listening to them in rehearsal, but I get very used to the beautiful sounds that they create, and so the first time anyone in an audience reacts to the things that they are doing, it's just a great experience.
Men are allowed to audition at the end of their freshman year, and women are allowed to audition at the end of their sophomore year. During the audition, Miss A listens for tone quality, sight reading abilities, and the ability to blend as an overall choir. The Madrigals have 3 out-of-school performances already booked. On November 2nd, the Madrigals travel to Shadyside, Pittsburgh to sing in a cathedral church. At this performance, they also get to sing a newly composed song called Time to Rise. November 9th, they perform at the Strand with the vocal a cappella group Ball in the House. On December 14th, they get to perform at Sherwood Oaks Retirement Home. Here, the school hosts a lunch for all the senior citizens that live in the area. The Madrigals, Chamber Orchestra, and Jazz Band perform at this lunch. Madrigal songs are normally a cappella. Some of their pieces can be very challenging. Let's check in with a few new Madrigals to hear their thoughts on how they think the choir is going to perform this year.
Help me get out of my vocal bubble. I'm used to singing bass 2 and 1, but tenor 2 is a change for me.
I think just giving like myself another chance to sing and do what I love in an environment like Madrigals is really helpful for me.
My favorite song to sing is My Soul's Been Anchored in the Lord, because I sang that last year for honors, and I just really like the song, and it has really cool harmonies.
All of the friendships that I've made outside of MADS are now inside of MADS, so we all kind of just come together as a group.
The pieces that the Madrigals plan to perform this year are My Soul's Been Anchored in the Lord, Precious Lord, 12 Days of Christmas with a Special Twist, Apple Tree, We Are, Fair Phyllis I Saw, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, A Holly Jolly Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Ave Verum, The Holly and the Ivy, and finally, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. The song the Madrigals are most known for is the song My Soul's Been Anchored in the Lord. First concert in school is on December 11th in the IHS Auditorium with the rest of the 11th and 12th grade choirs. Make sure to go check out this amazing choir and all the hard work and dedication they put into their music. My name is Morgan Clay with the Seneca Scout.
Thank you, Morgan. And now we'll take a more in-depth look at several SV sports. The boys SV baseball team had a very successful season last year as they made it to the state playoffs. Now, let's check in with Abby Spiker for a closer look at the team this year.
I'm Abby Spiker, and this is my package on the Whippeal defending baseball champions.
The beginning of the season for me was both optimistic and just trying to prove myself and find a spot. The key for this team's success this past season, I would say, was just connections. We knew each other growing up, so it's kind of just next man up, next bat up. Just the final emotion when Mason Durst caught that ball for the Whippeal championship was just relieving and just excitement. It was just all of this led up to that. It was just awesome. You can expect from us this season is just continue to put that work in, the grind, and just continue to compete and win games.
That was an emotional game. The final out of the Whippeal game, that whole game was emotional from the beginning until the end. It was stressful. It was a close game. Norwin was an excellent baseball team. But our kids just, once again, they never quit. They always believed that they were going to win. And when that last ball was put in the air and I saw our left fielder, Mason Durst, coming in to make the catch, I was just praying that he would make the catch. And when he caught it was a very surreal moment, because the first words that came out of my mouth was, finally. Because we've had good teams, and Coach Seneca and Coach McGill, they've had teams that have won Whippeal titles before, but this was different. We had, like I said, we had a whole new group of kids, untested, and they came together and won a very important game. Well, once again, we have a lot of returning starters. So I think the one thing that you're afraid of as a coach when you have a lot of kids coming back is kids getting comfortable in their positions because they feel that those positions are theirs. We have to make sure that the kids are still working hard, that they're willing to put the time in and the effort to continue to get better from now until the last day of the season, during this upcoming baseball season. So I think we have the potential to have a lot of success if we keep doing the same things that we did last year.
This past baseball season, our Seneca Valley Raiders brought home the Whippeal Championship. Seneca Valley team consisted of 18 players and 3 coaches, Semega as head coach and McGill and Hayward as assistant coaches. They started the season with a record of 8-7 and the section record being 8-4, and went on head-to-head with the Norwin in the championship, whose record was 14-9 and section record being 8-4. Norwin had a PCT of 609 and Seneca Valley had a PCT of 720. During the Raider season, they lost in a scrimmage and lost their ace pitcher, but went on a winning streak the whole month of May. Their season went well with beating out Mount Lebanon in the first game and beating out Cannon McMillan in the second game of playoffs to make it to the championship. The Whippeal game was hosted at Wild Things Stadium in Washington, Pennsylvania. The Whippeal champion game, Seneca scored 1 run in the first inning. Norwin was fighting back and getting people on base, but ultimately the game ended with a fly ball caught by left fielder Mason Durst to grasp the Raiders' victory 1-0. Seneca Valley's baseball first win as a 6A. The next season is just around the corner with the conditioning starting in January and the actual season following close closely behind. Returning players from the Whitfield Championship this year are Quinn Carney, Brandon Galeski, Mason Fisher, Caden Cahill, Michael Conroy, Danny Drennan, Jackson Blunker, Ryan Rebels, Luis Tornegra, Owen Velt, Mason Durst, Elliot Murnock, and Micah Olaire. Make sure to go and support your Raider baseball this year. I'm Abby Spiker with Seneca Scout.
Thank you, Abby. Last night, the Seneca Valley varsity hockey team got a big win against the Upper St. Clair prior to the game. Our own Easton Monk sat down with some of the players to discuss their game plan.
The Seneca Valley Raiders are off to a hot 3-0 start to start this year. I sat down with some of the players to get their game plan on not only their game versus USC, but the rest of the season. Who am I here with today?
John Soroka.
What are some ways as an assistant captain you can get your team ready for tonight?
Just make sure everyone comes prepared, picking up everybody during the game, and supporting everybody.
What can you do personally tonight to make sure you guys win?
Just bring that good team effort, come in working hard every shift, and things like that.
Who am I here with today?
Vincent Villela.
What is something you can personally do to make sure you're ready for tonight?
Just get a good warm-up in before the game and start dialing in.
Yeah. What is something you can do to make sure your team's ready for tonight?
Make sure they have a good warm-up and make sure we come to the rink ready and just beat whoever we're playing against.
Thank you. Who am I here with today?
Carter Hain.
What is something you can personally do to make sure you're ready for tonight?
I'm going to watch film for tonight, watch what USC is doing, stretch, make sure all the boys are ready. I think it's good.
What is something you can do as a captain to make sure your team is ready for tonight?
Have a good warm-up, I think. Make sure the boys get a good warm-up in, get them hyped up, and I don't know, just make sure they're prepared as well. Do what I'm doing, and I think we'll be all right.
Thank you, Carter.
The Raiders ended up being very prepared for this game. The final was 4-2, and senior Jacob Gilbert ended up netting 2 goals in the win. The Raiders advanced to 4-0 on the season.
Raiders are hoping to repeat success and bring back another state title. I'm Easton Mock, and you're watching the Seneca Scout.
Thank you, Easton. Tonight at 7 p.m., 3 to 5, the Raiders will host the 7-2 North Allegheny Tigers in the final game of the regular season. This game is special because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Cheerleaders from middle school through varsity using their pom-poms to make a ribbon. By raising and shaking their pom-poms, the cheerleaders and dancers recognize the survivors who choose to go down the field for a pre-game ceremony. The survivors get to stand in the middle of the ribbon for a moment of silence, followed by applause. It is also for an emotional evening for all the class of 2026. For the football players, band members, the cheerleaders, and the dancers, this is the last Friday game night ever. Here is senior football player Jake Berg and his thoughts and emotions on playing his last game ever.
For my last football game ever, I'm definitely excited, but it's also sad. I've been playing for 11 or 12 years, so it's definitely sad. But I'm glad I get to do it with all my best friends, and I'm glad my family's going to be there to support me and see me play.
Thank you, Jake. Everybody knows about the SV football team, and everyone has been to their games or watched them on TV. But do you know how it's possible for you to see games on TV? For more on this, we go to Seneca Valley's very own Luca Marola.
Hello, everybody. I'm Luca Marola. And today, we're right here in front of Next Tier Stadium where the Seneca Valley Raiders play football. And most of you guys know the football team who took on Central Catholic last Friday night. But today, I'm going to show you guys how SVTV gets it done behind the scenes. Hello, everybody. I'm here with one of SV's local football broadcasters, Kellen Mattis. Kellen, talk to us about how SVTV gets it done behind the scenes and what it feels like to be a part of SVTV.
Well, you know, now it's my second year into this program, and last year we had Gavin Kress and AJ Barnett who did a great job last year. I feel like there's a lot that goes in. You know, you have a lot of people that have to cover the bases, you know, with 4 or 5 camera jobs. You have at least 2 to 3 people in the program center, and you have us 2 in the booth. You know, it is a bit tougher, and kudos to those who stay after the full time and even come in, you know, just to broadcast in any game. You know, it's not just football, it's volleyball, to soccer, to hopefully Ultimate Frisbee this year, to lacrosse, to all the concerts, to kind of everything around that can be broadcasted.
What is it like to be in the SVTV room? Because I know you were once in there.
Well, I do feel like they do get recognition, when it comes to those winter months when we go to RMU and we do get a lot of awards because we have a good program here. I do believe that they do get a lot of, people do know that they have a job here in SVTV, and sometimes they do switch out and go back to camera jobs. And like we said, Mr. McCosty and Mr. Logston, our two advisors, always do tell every student they do a great job because we do a great job. We're a good team together.
And Kellen, finally, what would you say to someone who's thinking about joining SVTV and helping with these sports games?
If you want to do something along the lines of broadcast, cameras, or anything like that, I would definitely join SVTV because it really just opens your eyes. Like last year, I really, really wanted to broadcast, but we had 2 seniors, so I just opened up and did sideline interviews. You can make new stuff, you can innovate, That's just the number one thing, and yeah, you should join SVTV because why not?
Thank you, Kellen, and we'll see you guys on Friday night for the Seneca Valley Raiders versus North Catholic Tigers.
Yep, let's go Raiders, baby.
I'm Luca Marola, and you're watching Seneca Scout. Back to you.
Thank you, Luca.
That's all for now. See you for the next episode of the Seneca Scout.